Hey, what's up everybody? How's it going? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. So for today's movie rant, we're talking about a new Nicolas Cage movie that's called A Score to Settle. And if you don't know anything about Nicolas Cage movies, let's just say that anything that's released from about 2010 onward is incredibly unreliable. But the fact of the matter is, I have AMC A-list, which means I pay very little to go see movies. I had a few hours to kill, and every once in a while, sometimes you just want to sit there and watch a dumpster fire just out of sheer morbid curiosity. And not that it really fucking matters all that much, but the basic plot of the movie is that Nicolas Cage gets thrown into prison, and then 20 years later he gets released from prison, and big surprise, when he gets out of jail he has a score to settle. And then there's a whole thing with the fact that he's got a son, and then there's a weird little thing that happens with a prostitute, and then just a bunch of stuff happens. And I said that I expected a dumpster fire, but as far as dumpster fires go, the flame on this one was incredibly small. Like, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. But don't get me wrong, it's still not a very good movie though. The 80 hour is really not that well done because there's some scenes that it's very apparent that the voiceover does not match the mouth that you're seeing on screen. Some of the dialogue is really clunky, and the reason why he gets released from prison is just flat out ridiculous. Because the reason why they release him is due to chronic insomnia, which I'm sure in some extreme cases, yes, it has potentially fatal implications, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that they don't release you from prison for that reason, especially after you allegedly killed a guy. And unsurprisingly, there's some wacky side characters in the movie. Like there's this one pimp in the movie that's called like Trick or Trip or something along those lines. But however, in fairness to the guy playing that character, they kind of dressed him up in the most conspicuous wardrobe I could ever imagine. But also, in my opinion, I felt like the guy playing the character, it really felt like he was trying to put in some effort, like he was trying to make something out of the character that he was given. So it's more so like the guy tried and failed, but you could sense that there was a bit of effort in there, and it wasn't laughably horrible, in my opinion. And that's actually kind of how I feel about the rest of the movie. Like, it was a bad attempt, it was an attempt and a failure, but at the same time, it wasn't laughably horrible like some of the other Nick Cage movies I've seen. The movie did actually have a couple good ideas, even if they weren't executed properly. Like, the opening scene isn't terrible. And there's also a thing a good bit into the movie that happens with the son that I thought, oh, you know, that was actually kind of a cool idea that I didn't see coming. It could have been choreographed a little better. And the actor Benjamin Bratt is also in the movie. He's got a small part, and he doesn't do bad because, you know, he's an old pro. And there's also a scene involving a bellhop at a hotel that I actually thought was pretty funny. And the movie in general was kind of funny, and it wasn't like in a bad way. Granted, there's a few stupidity laughs in there, but there are other moments where the movie is actually trying to be funny, and it kind of worked. And I partially owe that to Nicolas Cage, because at the end of the day, he's still Nicolas fucking Cage. And yes, a lot of the people working on this movie are just kind of there for the paycheck, but at the same time, Cage brought actually a little bit of charisma to the role. I shit you not, he legitimately has a Mr. Burns moment from The Simpsons. Because he's trying to intimidate this dude, and he just has this moment where he's like, excellent. And then he just kind of throws him out a doorway, and I just couldn't help but laugh. But it's like I said, guys, the movie's not great, but it does have some slightly enjoyable qualities, and I found myself mildly entertained. So overall, I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna go negative and give it a 4.0 out of 10. I can't say I recommend the movie, and I probably wouldn't have seen it if I didn't have an AMC A-list. But if any of you are, say, stuck with your family members on Thanksgiving or something, and you got like that one crazy uncle that really loves Nicolas Cage, if you have to pick from his straight-to-DVD collection, I would say pick this one because it's one of the lesser dumpster shits that he's done. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie? Have you heard of it? Hop in the comments, let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, do all that other happy horse shit, and I will catch you guys next time.